and then the books were sold. And they were signed and personalized on the spot. And it was so successful and so enjoyable, I just found myself saying, why aren't other schools doing this? So I contacted my own local district. I set one up there. There were teachers from the district who came, who live in other districts, who said, I'd like to do this at my district. And I gave them information. I started printing out basically a set of, a set of directions on how to initiate the night, how to get all the contacts, the authors and the illustrators, and it just began snowballing to the point where I was asked to do a workshop at a New York State PTA conference. I brought slides and I brought handouts. And I mean, at one year, at its highest point, I think we were doing about 40 a year, and it was sometimes 3 in 1 week, all through Nassau and Suffolk County, and a few right into Queens. We've done right into Queens.
Yeah.
But it's taken off, and I've kind of backed away from that now because my school visitation and conference schedule has gotten so busy, and Sandy has kind of taken over the reins as far as being the contact person for the author nights. But probably the most wonderful thing, and the kids and parents, the books are sold at least 20% discount.
And we absorb the tax.
Yeah, and they're meeting the people up close and personal. So many schools that I visit, the kids, they hear the word author, and it's somebody from far, far away.
Right.
And they have no idea what a rich stomping ground Long Island is. I mean, we're just teeming with professional authors and illustrators, some of high repute. So to have these kids come in and meet you face to face, I know I've met a lot of my illustrators personally, and every time I pick up one of my books, I see that person's face, I can hear his voice. It's just an amazing thing, and I know that happens with the kids. They pick up the book, and there's now a personal connection. And I'm always reminding kids that I just did a Jericho school, and third graders, and I told them, we had a program in the library. I said, there are thousands of books around you right now, and every one of these books has a name on the front cover, and all of these people were in third grade once, just like you. And I need them to be aware of that if they love to read, I don't expect everybody to be a writer. That's a personal decision. But I want them to understand that that door is open to them. Take the mystery away from it.
Yeah, I do career nights, or career, I shouldn't say they're not nights, they're during the school days, career day programs, and try to explain what it's like to be a writer and what you can do with it. Because I think that, again, I think people have this vision of people in a room with a typewriter or now a computer writing a book, and you just write the book, and the book just magically becomes a product that can be sold in a store. And so I like to talk about what goes into being a writer, and how to support yourself when you're a writer, and how to promote yourself. I think really what's happening now is that the biggest problem that we have is promoting our books. We can promote them through schools, but you really have to be able to get that book out to a vast public. And I think that's one of the advantages of Author Illustrator Night. How does somebody go about, how would a PTA president go about getting an Author Illustrator Night?
All they have to do is email me.
Okay.
And I will give them an idea of what dates are open. And then after they decide on their date, I will send them the contact list. And all of these people are LICWI members. They are free to invite other authors that they know, but they just wouldn't be covered by our insurance. But then they can have a sample invitation if they like, or they can design their own. And then all we ask is that they have a little dinner for us first. A lot of these people have day jobs and are coming directly from those day jobs, so don't have time to
And
eat.
Long Island, as I was mentioning this morning on the ride out, Long Island really is a Long Island, isn't
yes.
it? Because if you're driving from Massapequa to Southampton, it's a trek. So, so actually, you're making it very easy for them. You're giving them the authors that they can invite. You're giving them the invitation they can use,
And now most of the invitations go out by email. It used to be they actually had to address envelopes and stuff them. And it's very easy. They just have the list and they can just send it out, and then the people email back.
So if I had the opportunity, say I had a fifth grader, and I had the opportunity to take the fifth grader to Barnes & Noble's, or let's say the book review in Huntington, to listen to a children's author give a speech. And then I had the opportunity to do author illustrator night. What's better about the author illustrator?
Well, first of all, there'd be about a dozen of us, and the child could meet authors of different types of books. And sometimes at, let's say, Barnes & Noble, you're sitting in an audience and the person gets up to a podium and then they split, unless they sit and sign books, and then you can talk to them about maybe 10 seconds. Here, you've got an hour and a half.
So you're making really a sophisticated reader in that you're exposing them to genre,
Yes.
you're exposing them to an author who'll tell them their experiences, and you're exposing them to good books.
And they can sit and talk to one author for the whole hour and a half, or they can, tour the room and speak to 20
One of the
of them.
things that one of the author illustrator nights that I attended that I thought was really cute was they all had a little diary, and they wanted each author to sign the books. But I've been at book fairs where people will buy my book simply because I'm going to sign it. So now my line is that the books are free, but I'm charging $9 for my autograph. And everybody gets a
Very often
chuckle
a
out of
class
that.
will adopt an author, and they'll make posters, and they'll read the books in advance. And sometimes the teachers will give homework passes. And so the kids who attend the author night don't have to do homework that night.
So if you had one thing to say about author illustrator night, what would you say to all those PTA presidents who are listening out
It's
there?
a great way to get the kids to read, especially those reluctant readers who.
Because there's got to be something amongst those 25 readers. And the books are so attractive. So we're just about running out of time now. Brian, any last words about?
Well, as
Lovely
far as the author
organization.
nights, Sandy had mentioned the students adopting authors. Very often, what the teacher will also do is they'll compose a class letter with questions. It's impossible for us to, if we're doing 20 author nights and we're getting several hundred personal letters, you can't answer them all. So if they send a class letter with questions that they've determined
That's a
that
terrific idea.
every one of us does send a personal response to that class. And a lot of times I'll send a book jacket with it. And all of this spurs the emotion and spurs the motivation for them to come to the author night.
So, folks, sign up for author illustrator nights with Long Island children's writers and illustrators. Thank you both.
Thank you.
This was really fun.